Yeah, good morning there folks, and welcome to the beautiful 18th day of February 2008, and I'm here at 5:30 in the morning at the St John Ambulance Centre in Central Australia. Just come from a very unique job after attending a patient with a bit of sciatica, a bit of nerve pain to the left hip, and trying to extricate the patient from the scene. We were attacked by a swarm of bees. Hundreds of them got into the back of the ambulance and made it very difficult to carry on the treatment of our patient as they began to swarm all over the ambulance and even over us. Started to bite the patient as well as one of our officers, and we had to hit all the lights as they seemed to be attracted to the lights in the vehicle and started swarming around, and we had to drive away from the scene as quickly as we could as they continued to swarm and flood the ambulance. There was a swarm of them, and we were originally told by the patient that they were friendly bees, but they certainly were not too friendly. They were a bit pissed off, to be more honest, and from there on we had to get out of there. So without being able to further treat the patient, we had to leave the scene as quickly as we can with quite a few hundred bees inside it, and head towards the Alice Springs Hospital, in which they most of them left the vehicle as we arrived, swarmed towards the nearest light, and not without the avoidance of a couple of bites from these beautiful bees. So that's one mission we haven't experienced here in the ambulance profession, is a bee swarm attack on scene. So D for danger took priority. We controlled the mission quite well, and I think the bees came off with the upper hand. So good on you bees, great effort. Finally, I'm leaning against the beautiful car 85. This is the vehicle 85, which will be unveiled today for the great Buggy, Mr. Vacation, the Scoffer, and will be Buggy is a superstar. It is currently travelling around as we speak in the real spaceships up there in the galactic planes, the interdimensional planes, and it's wonderful to have a superstar like Bourget get his name put on one of these great old ambulances here. So later on today we'll be here for that unveiling, and I've got about an hour of sleep that I might go catch up on now, and then get back to Earth Sanctuary World Nature Centre to catch up on some news of climatic variation from around the world. So signing out from Operation Bee Swarm, the bee attack here in the desert, and we'll catch you guys a little later. Ciao. Good morning to you folks, and welcome back to the later part of the morning of this 18th day of February 2008. Some news from around the world in this time of climatic variation. Firstly, we go to the tornado in Florida, which has destroyed 4 homes. Continuing intensity from tornadoes due to the differentials in hot and cold occurring across the states there, particularly in the Tornado Alley area. Winter storms have caused a blanket of ice in Athens and Greece, and this has caused enormous disruption there, as they are simply not prepared for such extremes. Further weather goes to quakes. We've had a magnitude 6 occurring in South America, in Bolivia on this occasion. More intense quakes occurring there, and there's been some over recent weeks, so it continues up around the 6 and 7s. Further news from severe rains, more weather warnings for the Philippines, concerned for more mudslides as to all the forest clearing going on there in the Philippines. 200,000 acres of rainforest are destroyed on the planet. This leads to landslides when we get these severe rains, so heads up on that one. More weather, winter storms again, this time in Iowa in the United States, and more winter blizzard warnings are going. There's an expectation of up to 7 inches of snow occurring in Iowa in the United States. finally we look at the planets, and this time Mercury, Venus, and as well as Mars. Mars we've got in Gemini, we've got Venus and Mercury in the beautiful Aquarius at the moment, as well as the Sun itself. This is the rising for Aquarius between the start of the 20th of January or so, right up to mid-February, as we can expect to see Aquarius behind the Sun itself. So it's a nice rising sign in the morning if you happen to be up. Also Mars in Gemini, Saturn in Virgo, and beautiful Jupiter sitting up there in Capricorn, which is also rising in the morning with Venus. So keep an eye out if you do get the chance in a clear sky. Go have a look at the morning sky and see these awesome, the big expansion Jupiter and the beautiful planet of love Venus hovering over there in the eastern sky. And of course, let's not forget Mars hanging up there in Gemini, who's pushing for change in this wonderful time of transformation. Anyway guys, there's some news. Get on to millicom.com if you want to find out more in detail about what's going on in climatic variation around the planet, and check out some extra stories there on extraterrestrial activity and what you can do in your own neck of the woods for positive global solutions to regain balance on this wonderful planet. Anyway guys, we've got some more inserts for you for this day. We'll catch you shortly.
G'day superstars, welcome to Earth Sanctuary World Nature Centre. It's pretty warm, it's about 37 degrees in the shade, around about 42 in the sun. A huge hello to Joey back there at Millicom's headquarters back in the Mornington Peninsula, and g'day mum, and to all our superstar subscribers. Speaking of subscribers, there's just a big thank you we'd like to say to JT out there at Jedi Central for his magnificent work on Millicom's flash intro on the .com site there. Also comments from Lustmore19 states only a few views. He's shameful that more people are watching Britney Spears, but as we said to him, it's all good my friend. There are white blood cells and red blood cells, and there's a lot less white blood cells, and they correct the imbalance in the human body, no different from what we're doing on the planetary body of Earth. Another comment from Julia. Good luck with all your work, and a big thank you from Julia. No worries, thanks mate. She's looking for some information on some more natural control over some of her flowers. I'm not sure, Julia, you might have to have a look at that one yourself and have a bit of a go, but I do thank you for your links to the Grid Keepers and other UFO information which we put up on our site. So thank you, Julia, you're a champion, and we have uploaded that. There's a few uploads on the site today I think you guys might appreciate. One from our mate Mark, who's put some beautiful music with some wonderful imagery from around the galaxy. There's more UFO footage, some high definition footage from Saudi Arabia, some fantastic craft. Have a look at that one, superstars. I think you'll enjoy that one. And there's more information there from that site we just mentioned from Grid Keeper, a gentleman who's using an 8-inch telescope, and he's picked up some amazing craft imagery out there in Earth's atmosphere. Quickly around the planet Earth, obviously climate change news is still affecting people right around the planet Earth. We've been watching the prices of wheat, soya, and now cocoa also rising due to climate change abnormalities affecting different growers around the planet. And Minneapolis in the United States are being affected. They've already tripled their wheat price since 1996, so they're breaking records just in those prices. So those commodities are really affecting people worldwide. The big drought throughout South Australia here on this continent is killing wildlife in South Australia. There's more information on those crop failures too right throughout the planet. Remember, we also broadcast that story in China where they're being affected by that 40% hike in those commodities just in 2007, and they're obviously very, very basic commodities that we all use, and that's just indicative and a reflection of how climate change will eventually affect our economy and cripple us if we do not transition our ways and become more sustainable. Around the world there's a fantastic new organisation called Budburst.com, I think it is, and you can jump onto that from our website at millicom.com. That's a wonderful campaign where they're asking for volunteers from around the world. People, oh, there goes my Mexican hat, all good. Where they're asking volunteers around the world to collect data on about 60 different species, and if they can send in their information on when the actual flower itself is budding or flowering or leafing out, so they can obviously monitor the effects of climate change on those particular little darlings, aren't they? Flowers, aren't they just beautiful? I love them. So there you go, guys. There's a heap of information on millicom.com.